What's up, YouTube? Today, we're going to be talking about Mojang and the crazy things that have happened, like how Bethesda almost sued them because of Elder Scrolls, why they almost got sued again by the official Putt-Putt company, and why they made a game all about shooting baby kittens. To help serve this video justice, I'm joined by my beautiful pet rodent, Lucy. Say hi, Lucy. Blech. Now, before Mojang was founded, there's a whole lot of kind of boring context stuff we should go through regarding its founder, Marcus Pearson. And Marcus Pearson's life isn't really what we're here for, so let's speedrun the basics real quick. Marcus basically got really into PC games at around 7 years old on an old PC called a Commodore 128 with a screen that looked like this, which was the single catalyst that inspired every crazy thing you're about to see in this video. Marcus didn't even finish high school, but his knowledge of computers from the Commodore 128 was enough to get him a job at this crazy company called Game Federation. He met a dude named Rolf Janssen, and they both developed a game called Worm Online and released it in 2006 through a company they founded called Mojang Specifications, and it looked like this. Also around this time, Marcus Pearson started going by Notch for some reason, and so we're just gonna be calling him by that name now, apparently. Worm Online wasn't working for Notch, and he wasn't feeling inspired, and so he left Mojang Specifications a year later and founded a brand new company called... Mojang? Yeah, so basically, Notch liked the name Mojang Specifications so much that he asked Rolf Janssen if he could use it for a new company, and Rolf was like, yeah bro, but now Rolf had to change Mojang Specifications name because Notch was using it now for his new company, and his sheer and utter genius came up with 1, 2, 3, that's 3 with an F. Okay, we've made it to the Mojang era now. During the early stages of Mojang, Notch was still working that 9-to-5 grind over at this lovely company called Midas Player, which quickly becomes less lovely once you learn that, eventually, in an unfortunately not too distant future, Midas Player will rename themselves to King and produce the abomination we all know as Candy Crush. Fortunately, Notch left King after a few years after they told him that he wasn't allowed to work on his own games during his off time, which, like, I'm sorry, is it not crazy for a mobile game company to tell someone what they can or can't do during their free time? Why? Why? You bastards! Why do I deserve this? I do nothing but try to make you happy, pushing these lousy excuses for products. And what do I get in return? Torment! Torture! Why can't you just let me have one thing that brings me joy? Do you honestly think you can keep getting away with... In 2009, Notch gained some huge inspiration while playing a pixel-based block game called Infiniminer. And wait a minute. Notch, bro, this looks exactly like Minecraft. Yeah, so Notch took some inspiration and immediately created Minecraft, except it wasn't called Minecraft, it was called Ruby Dung. The fuck? Who names their game Ruby Dung? Whatever. Ruby Dung was developed for a whole total of 3 months before he turned it into the Minecraft we all know and love today. A large, flat, dirt and grass cube. Wow. The first version of the game was released on May 17th, 2009 on a forum called TIG Source, where a bunch of indie devs could basically post cool stuff they've been working on. People could buy the game for just $13, which is kind of insane considering the gameplay loop. A few months later, Notch, you know, took a casual side quest to Valve's headquarters, where he met up with Gabe Newell himself. Notch was actually offered a job at Valve, but being the absolute buffoon lunatic he is, he turned the offer down. I don't know, maybe Gabe was like, yeah, we want you to work with us, but you can't work on your own stuff outside of work because we hate your ass. And Notch was like, go f yourself. Anyways, Notch returned from this side quest and asked a former coworker he had over at King named Jacob Porser if he wanted to join Mojang. Jacob was like, okay, sure. And so while Notch worked on Minecraft, Jacob worked on a different project called Scrolls, which was a strategic card collecting game. During this time, Mojang started hiring some more people to speed things along. One of the most important people being a dude named Jens Bergensten, who will be astronomically important later. By January 2011, Minecraft had over 1 million registered players. And this is also around the same time that they released their first mobile versions of the game, Minecraft Pocket Edition and Minecraft Pocket Edition Lite. What's crazy cool and quirky about the Lite version of the game is that you could spend 8 hours building something revolutionary, and then you just couldn't save it. Mojang officially announced Scrolls a few months later, and this apparently ruined Bethesda's day. Basically, Bethesda has this teeny tiny game franchise called The Elder Scrolls, and their parent company ZeniMax was like, yo, your game Scrolls kind of sounds like our games. Notch apparently thought this was pretty hilarious, because he went to his blog and said that they should hash out their differences over a game of Quake 3. 3 of his, quote, best warriors against 3 of theirs, and if his team wins, then ZeniMax drops the lawsuit, and if ZeniMax wins, then they can pick a new name for Scrolls that they're fine with. By the end of this, Mojang and ZeniMax unfortunately did not settle their differences in a game of Quake 3, but Mojang did give the trademark of the name Scrolls to Bethesda in exchange for still being able to call their game Scrolls. So not really a win for Mojang, but we'll take what we can get. Now, at this point in time, Minecraft was finally ready to be fully released, and in 2011, Mojang organized the first ever Minecon in Las Vegas. Over 5,000 people attended this thing. Some people say that the actual first Minecon was held a year before, when a whopping 30 people showed up to meet Notch in some random park in Washington, after he made a blog post about being interested in meeting some of the community.
Speaking of fan-made works, are you aware of Herobrine, that rumor that's been going around of the Minecraft ghost?
Yeah,
Him. Him.
Is that actually something that you put into the game, or is it just a hoax?
It's a hoax, unfortunately.
The LEGO company was seeing Minecraft's big success, and so they proposed to Mojang something absolutely groundbreaking. Minecraft, but LEGO. Now, Mojang was actually down for this, and Notch released a teaser screenshot of it on Twitter while they were working on it. No, I did not modify this image. This is literally what he unironically posted. They worked on this game for a little while, but Mojang eventually dropped the project altogether after some creative differences they had with LEGO. For example, and this actually happened, Mojang wanted to add some small scratches to the brick textures inside of the game, you know, to give it some more depth and realism. But LEGO was like, not scratches on our precious fucking bricks, man. And Mojang was like, LEGO actually considered just straight up buying Mojang during this whole process as well, but that did not end up happening. In December 2011, Notch was starting to show early signs of burnout when he took a step back as Minecraft's lead designer and gave it to that Jens Bergensten guy that we talked about earlier. Getting into 2012, Mojang hosted a charity event called Mojam, where the dev team had just 60 hours to create a game that anyone could then buy at the price of their choice. The game they made was called Catacomb Snatch, which is a game where you and another person collect coins and beat the absolute shit out of some bats. And the first person to collect 50 batches of treasure wins. They raised $458,000 with this game, which was just shy of their $500,000 goal, in which Notch would have shaved his beard. Maybe next time. With Minecraft's continued success, Hollywood was already salivating at the thought of milking this game for all it's got, and multiple producers and executives began reaching out to Mojang. By March this year, Minecraft had sold over 5 million copies, which totaled to over $80 million in revenue. What's even crazier is that they only had around 25 employees at the time. If you've made it this far into the video and haven't subscribed, what are we doing, man? Listen, I'm trying to be in the net positive subscription gain by the end of the year, unlike last year. And so I would, you know, greatly appreciate it. Anyways, LEGO wasn't done with Mojang yet, because they collaborated again and released a Minecraft-themed LEGO set which looked like this. I mean, Steve looks a little rough in this one, but I mean, they've got time to refine that, I guess. Mojang hosted another Minecon in November 2012 in Disneyland Paris, where 4,500 people watched what should be considered the greatest costume contest of all time.
It's a chicken. So I'm not, can you speak through there? It's a realistic chicken. Chickens can't talk. So, round of applause.
Hi there. What's your name?
Che.
What are you wearing?
I'll go on apple.
So if I eat you, will you make me feel good? Will you regen my health? Okay.
These videos wouldn't be possible without companies giving me a shit ton of money, so it is my utmost privilege to thank today's sponsor. Do you ever have issues with your Well, thanks to the wondrous people at you, my friend, never have to worry about that again. Founded in 1.98 AG, has always made it their mission to assist individuals struggling with assistance sometimes being offered to individuals with When using their services, be sure to enter this promo code to get a 1 and 3/16% discount on your next purchase. And now, back. 2013 started out with another Mojang, and instead of making one game, the Mojang devs made 3 this time, and man, are they interesting. We got the good old classic nuclear pizza war, where you're this critter on a pizza moon, and then pizza monsters start attacking your shit out of nowhere. We also got the absolute classic endless nuclear kittens, where the year is 2369 and kittens have overtaken Earth and become our overlords. According to Mojang, they must die for this, and so you go out into space and just start blasting the f***ing shit out of some kittens. To really top everything off, the third and final game was called Battle Frogs, in which you battle frogs. These 3 absolute gems of human achievement raised over $500,000, which, if you remember from last Mojang, meant that Notch had it coming. Oh yeah, also this year, the literal official Putt-Putt company sent a cease and desist letter to Mojang because one day they were browsing the internet and saw some people building Putt-Putt courses and didn't exactly know how the game worked at that point and thought that Mojang themselves were using their precious Putt-Putt brand without permission. Mojang recognized how atrociously stupid this was and basically just ignored it. Putt-Putt apparently got the memo and quietly stepped back, but man, dude, if they would have just spent literally 30 seconds on Google and figured out how Minecraft actually worked, then none of that would have happened in the first place. Mojang ended 2013 with yet another Minecon, this time in Orlando, Florida. 7,500 total tickets were sold, and the first batch of 2,500 literally sold out in less than 3 seconds. Most attendees got a Lego set of Steve and bro, like, who greenlit this, man? Are we being completely serious right now? I mean, I'm laughing, but apparently this thing is worth around $420 today, so, you know, what do I know? Mojang made over $330 million in revenue this year, 83 million more than the previous. By this point, Mojang was well aware that the Minecraft franchise was their golden goose, and so they really just focused on that from here on out. It was around this time people were starting to bring up a potential Minecraft movie again, and some people were even circulating some leaks they claimed they found. Apparently, these were actually somewhat true, because Notch made a tweet basically saying that, yeah, they were working with Warner Bros. To make a Minecraft movie. More info quickly came out about this movie, and it was revealed that a dude named Roy Lee was hired on as an executive producer. This guy played a big part in the Lego movie, which came out earlier that month, so this was pretty big news. Because things were official now, Mojang ended up shutting down a fan-made Minecraft movie someone was trying to start around this time, which you can see on your screen now. Notch made a tweet stating, "We don't allow 500,000 Kickstarters based on our IP without any deals in place." Notch has built up a monumental empire with Minecraft, making millions of dollars working on something that he's truly passionate about. He's partnered with Lego, hosted multiple conventions that broke records, and almost got sued by the Putt-Putt company. In his next act of innovative and unparalleled genius in the gaming space, he has announced that he wants to quit? Yeah, so in July 2014, Notch made a tweet asking if anyone wanted to buy his 71% share of Mojang. Some of the replies were putting up some pretty great offers for sure, but companies like Activision, EA, and Microsoft were very, very interested in this offer. The head of Microsoft's Xbox division, Phil Spencer, really pushed Microsoft's CEO to buy Mojang to further their hold on the gaming market. Furthermore, Microsoft had over $2.5 billion in overseas bank accounts, which would be taxed like crazy if they tried to regularly bring the money back to the US. Using this overseas money to buy Mojang would not only give them one of the biggest games in the world, but would also be a way for them to technically move their $2.5 billion without being taxed as much. On September 15th, 2014, Mojang and Microsoft had reached an agreement, but the offer wasn't finalized yet. That same day, Notch explained why he wanted to sell the company in the first place. He said that he couldn't, quote, be responsible for something this big, and that he wanted to go back to doing small web experiments, saying that if a project of his ever gained that much traction again, he'd probably abandon it immediately. Stepping away from the acquisition for a sec, more Minecraft movie news happened in October, where they somehow got Sean Levy to direct the film. Alright, anyways, back to Microsoft. 2 months after the announcement, the deal for Mojang was finally finalized in November, and Microsoft officially acquired Mojang for $2.5 billion. Once the deal was finished, Notch was out of there, man, and walked away with $1.8 billion. Now, Mojang had always been a pretty small independent studio, you know, so Microsoft coming in freaking terrified employees. One employee said that they, quote, felt like the world was coming to an end. Dude, with reactions like this, you'd think the people over at Microsoft were like part of some horrendous, twisted, unforgivable shit. Oh wait. Notch actually felt a little bad about the way his former employees were taking this, so he gave everyone who stayed working at Mojang for at least 6 months a bonus of freaking $300,000 from his own money. Remember that Scrolls game that Jacob Corser was working on years ago? You know, the game that Bethesda got all upset about? Well, it's been in beta this entire time, but now, it's finally ready to release. Mojang released an official trailer for it on December 10th, 2014, and fully released it for PC the next day. They tried putting this thing on iOS, but because the game made you register an account to play it, which was against Apple's TOS, it was rejected. The game wasn't a complete flop, but it wasn't a big success either. I mean, how many of you watching this even knew this thing existed? That's why around 6 months later, they announced that they were ending active development on the game, but that all revenue still being made from it would keep the servers on, which they said would be at least 2 years later in July 2016. In December 2014, Mojang and this other company called Telltale Games announced that the latter was going to make a game called Minecraft Story Mode. This game was like Minecraft, but it had an actual story, and the decisions you made while you played affected the ending. Rest in peace, Ruben. Also in December, Sean Levy left the Minecraft movie due to creative differences.
Warner's asked me to develop kind of how might this ever be a story for a movie. And we came up with an approach that felt good to us, and I discussed it with Mojang. And they're like, that doesn't sound like what we want. And I said, okay.
Was your take funny? What was it?
It was not a comedy. It had maybe a bit of a Goonies flair. It was an adventure movie. But you know what? It's not my game. They know what they're doing. These things happen.
Because of the acquisition by Microsoft, a Minecon in 2014 never happened, but one for 2015 was confirmed, and it ended up being hosted in London. This one sold over 10,000 tickets, making it the biggest one yet, and broke the record for the biggest convention held for a single game. Finally doing something non-Minecraft related, Mojang released a brand new game out of nowhere called Crown and Council in April 2016. If you've ever played Risk, what's crazy though is that this game was made entirely by one dude called Henrik Peterson, and you can actually still play this game for free on Steam right now. It's probably getting a little repetitive at this point, but they hosted yet another Minecon in 2016 in California, where 12,000 people attended. This would actually sadly be the last physical Minecon ever hosted though. In February 2018, Scroll's online servers officially shut down, just over 3 years after they said that they were ending development. This didn't mean you couldn't play it though. Mojang actually put a lot of effort into this shutdown. The game was now free instead of $5, and people can now host their own servers and modify the game rules. Not only that, but they went through the effort of completely renaming and rebranding the game from Scrolls to Caller's Bane. After seeing literally every other industry making spin-offs, Mojang decided that, yeah, we can do that too. So in September 2018, Mojang announced Minecraft Dungeons, which was Minecraft, but in a dungeon. In other spin-off news, Telltale Games is going bankrupt. Their CEO, Pete Hawley, made a tweet saying that, yeah, we don't have any money, and basically fired everyone right after. This meant that there would be no more Minecraft Story Mode seasons. 25 employees were still kept on as some sort of sad skeleton team. This was mostly to complete some contractual obligations, like putting Minecraft Story Mode on Netflix. Because, as we all know, Netflix needs games. In May 2019, Mojang decided it was already time for another spin-off, and announced Minecraft Earth, which was basically just Pokemon Go. One of my biggest flexes is still having this thing on my phone, but you can't play it anymore anyways. Also in May, Microsoft revealed that Minecraft had sold over 176 million copies across the world, making it the most sold game of all time, beating Tetris. After 3 years of no physical Minecon, Mojang announced in 2019 that it was coming back. Only this time, it was called Minecraft Festival, and it was being held in Orlando, Florida. And it was going to be this big epic event that celebrated all things Minecraft with exhibits, tournaments, live entertainment, panels. And then COVID happened. And then it was canceled. Since then, Mojang has done all of their big Minecraft-related announcements as virtual live streams called Minecraft Live, which is like mega lame, man. When your entire gameplay loop requires people to go outside, and you release your game during a global pandemic, you're probably going to be in trouble, man. That's why in January 2021, Mojang announced that they were going to be ending support for Minecraft Earth. After this news, Mojang soon announced yet another Minecraft spin-off called Minecraft Legends. This is like the first Minecraft game that I have never played, and the overall reception wasn't great either. We'll see how long it lasts though, I'm sure it'll be fine. After years of silence around the topic, Mojang announced that Jared Hess would now be directing the Minecraft movie, a Minecraft movie. Jared Hess is a mythical director pool, man. This guy directed Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre, and now he's directing a live-action Minecraft movie. Talk about a resume, dude. In other not-so-great news, Minecraft Dungeons is dead. Yeah, and instead, they went to focus on other projects. Oh yeah, they also said the same thing about Legends shortly after this as well, making that, 4 Minecraft spin-off games that have come and gone now? Anyways, the first teaser for a Minecraft movie came out on September 4th, 2024. And honestly, the fact it was live action is genuinely some funny shit, man. You cannot get any more crazier than casting Jack Black of all people as Steve in a live action Minecraft movie. That next year, the movie was released, over 13 years after Mojang was first contacted by Hollywood producers wanting to make something. Because the movie made like $1 billion, the Minecraft Twitter account tweeted that a sequel was in the works and that it would be released in July 2027. Anyways, in November 2025, Mojang and the doofuses over at King teamed up together and announced a brand new mobile Minecraft spin-off called Minecraft Blast. There's really not a lot of public info about this game. You can only play it if you live in the grand old country of Malaysia right now, and what you're seeing on screen is like the only official image of it. If having spin-offs of the game wasn't enough for you, how do you guys feel about a sequel to a spin-off? On March 21st, 2026, Mojang announced Minecraft Dungeons 2 during their Minecraft Live event. And, why not just keep updating the first game? This is the first direct sequel to a spin-off Mojang has ever made. And even though the first Dungeons was a pretty fun game and successful, I don't know, it kind of just rubs me the wrong way that the only reason they're releasing this as an entire new sequel is probably to get people to essentially buy the game again. Hey, but who knows, maybe this game is going to be super different and warrant a sequel. But let's be for real. On screen now you can see this little graphic I made of most of the major events and milestones Mojang has accomplished over the years. If I missed anything you think should have been included, let me know in the comments, and if you liked the video, why don't you give that beautiful, sexy subscribe button a little kiss for me? That's all I got. I'll see you guys in the next one.